This TV show is made available to provide general information and a general overview of legal principles. Viewers should not rely on the information provided without consulting an attorney who is licensed to provide legal advice. Topics and ideas shared on this show are not to be used as a substitute for legal advice from a licensed attorney in your state.
And welcome to Under Oath with Michelle Bell. I'm your host, Michelle Bell. Now, this show is where I bring on other attorneys and we give you, the public, legal information. Now, I'd like to start the show off with a segment I call Jury Duty. And that's where I ask a trivia question and you, the audience, send in the correct answer. First person to do that will have their name on the website and receive a free gift. And the website is www.mbunder.oath.com. So let's get right into the question. The original Starbucks was established in 1971. In what U.S. city? All right, send in your correct answer. Now, don't go anywhere because I have a great guest on today. She was here before, and because I've received such an overwhelming request to bring her back, I brought her back for you. See you in a little bit.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back to Under Oath with Michelle Bell. I'm your host, Michelle Bell. So I'm here with my guest, Miss Ursula Langford. She came back.
Yay.
Yay! We had such a great time last time. And she's going to do entertainment law this time, right?
Right.
Okay, so I also want to remind you, she does family law, entertainment law, and she's also the owner of a television and film production company called Focality Productions,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
Awesome. So, entertainment law. Okay. What do we need to know?
A whole lot. A whole lot. Nothing seems to have changed from the days when, nothing seems to just in a different form. So,
okay, cool. Yeah. So if somebody wants to get into entertainment laws, like say you have somebody that comes in and they just come to your office, hey, I know I want to be an entertainer. I want to be in the entertainment industry. What do I do?
Well, the first question I'll ask them is, are you wanting to be on the music side or television production side? There's so many facets of it, literary, stage, but I cover them all, but the bigger two are music and television and film.
Okay, so let's say I am a great singer. I tear it down at church, so I want to do music.
Okay.
Now what?
Okay, so you come to me, you pay my consultation fee. Keep it real. And we have a really good conversation about where you are and and what's your vision. That's the first thing, because I want to make sure that we can work together. And that we're good for each other, because I always say every client isn't for every attorney, and vice versa. So when we're sitting down and we start into our conversation, the first thing I'll ask is, are you in a group or are you solo?
Solo.
Okay, you're solo. Well, great, because if you're in a group, then I would say you have to have a group agreement between yourselves of how you would govern your group and things of that nature. So you're solo, so I would say, okay, great. Have you written any music? Do you have your own original songs?
Man, this tablet's full of music and things that I've written. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. Tell me what to do.
First thing I'm going to say, okay, let me see your copyrights. And,
what is that?
Copyrights is when you take your original work and you put it in a tangible medium, and you're putting everybody on notice that this is your original work and no one can use it without your permission, okay? And just in a nutshell, real quickly and real simply, because it's such a broad and very extensive topic that can be talked about in a whole other show, basically that's just what you're protecting your right in your original, your intellectual property in your work and your music, whether it's the songs or the sound recordings.
Okay, so let's say, all right, 10 minutes have passed. I got the copyright. Now what?
Okay, so you got your copyright. So then we start moving forward and we start thinking in a business realm. So the first thing is that you know that you're going to have to work with producers, or you may already have a producer that you want to work with, or some producer has approached you and said, hey, I want to work with you and produce your album or something. So you have to have a producer's agreement. And a producer is just a person who comes in and mixes and masters your music, helps you put the music, the sound recordings together. What you guys would do is that you would put together a producer's agreement, which talks about the type of producer credits he will get on your album, and any other things, his royalty rates, how you pay him, and things of that nature. And with royalties, it could vary. If it's a well-known producer, they can get a very minimal rate. The higher producer, when you're talking like Jay-Z and Pharrell and people like that, and quality control that works with Migos, then you're looking at people that can come in and charge a large royalty rate. Okay. So that varies. It just depends on the weight of the producer. So you have to have a producer agreement. Those should be done before you step in the studio.
Okay, so what if I've already stepped in the studio? What I need to go back and do?
You need to go back and call me.
Okay.
Okay, you need to let me know that you've done that, and then I'm going to say, okay, well, let's hold off. Let's get his people to call my people. The old saying, have your people call my people? We say, tell him, have your people call my people. And then we're going to work this producer agreement out, because it does not make sense to go into a studio and then that's how a lot of people get robbed of their work. They go into these studios and they put down tracks and lyrics and they write all this stuff, and they walk away, the producer or whomever is in the studio walk away with that music, and they have no rights to that music. Well, they seemingly do not have any rights to that music. And so that's why you have to take care of the paperwork up front.
So protect yourself before you go in there and get it done.
Protect yourself before you go in there and get it done. If you have any, say, engineers that you're working with or any other people that you want, make sure you have a contract with those. Those people are called work for hires. So anything that they're doing for you, you're paying them, and then you're saying, bye-bye, I don't owe you anything else, and you don't own anything as far as this album goes or CD goes, or however they're terming it nowadays, downloads goes, I don't know. But you work for hire agreements are very important as well, because that governs your engineers and other people, other ancillary people that come in and work with you on your project. If you have original songs, what's very important is that you affiliate yourself with a performing rights organization. We call them PROs. PROs basically monitor your airplay.
Okay.
So you can track how your music is going. But back up, because I forgot something. When you're doing your music, I talk to clients about making sure that you get a barcode. A barcode identifies your song. So if you have a song, you write, Michelle Bell's Christmas Carol, and you
I can see that.
Pun intended, okay? But Michelle Bell's Christmas Carol, and you go get a barcode, and what that barcode does is that it identifies your song for airplay and recording and things of that nature. So it's almost like an identity, like your social security number. You can Google barcode, music barcode, and I believe it's ISRC. I might be wrong, but if you Google it, it'll come up and it'll walk you through on how to obtain a barcode for your album and your song. And so if you've ever flipped an album or a CD over in the back, not only you have the UPC for sales, but there are also barcodes. So
never paid attention to that, but
right.
Now I will.
Well, the songs is a little bit more discreet, because that's how they track the songs, okay? And so walking hand in hand with that is to register with SoundScan. Now, SoundScan is a private company, but what SoundScan does is that they compile your record sales. So now you're tracking your record sales by this barcode, and so you're able to see how well you're doing. Why is that good? Because if you're looking for a major deal, you're an indie artist and you're looking for a major deal, being able to show the label or show the production, the production company or whomever is looking to sign you, or the label, showing them those numbers. Okay. Here I am. This is the number of sales I've had. They're big in the world right now as far as mixtapes, in the mixtape world. People putting mixtapes up and they're doing really, really well. and being able to track that. And producers are calling people and saying, hey, I want that kid, you know, or that artist, because I'm tracking them and they're awesome. So you can show those numbers.
Okay, good. So get a barcode and then what?
Get a barcode. You put all this stuff just for tracking purposes. There are so many other things that you can do. Another thing is that if you're using someone else's music, you want to make sure that you go to that publisher and get clearance to use that music. Now, you will have to possibly pay a fee. Sometimes there are hefty fees depending on what artist's music you're sampling. And they'll ask you such questions as, what music do you want? How are you going to use the music? How much the music are you going to use? What capacity? And things of that nature. So but make sure you get that clearance, because what will happen is you don't get that clearance and you have Cardi B's, you know, Bodak Yellow going in the background and as part of your thing, and guess what? Cardi hears it and say, no, you can't do that. And you're actually doing a copyright infringement.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good thing.
You don't want to do copyright infringement because it's pricey to litigate. It's pricey to litigate, and you can lose a lot of money. And you put all this work and effort into having probably an amazing song that probably did well, but now you have to pay that money out to the artist that you didn't get the proper approval from. Correct.
Okay, cool. What else do I need to do once that happens? Because it seems like I have to have all this stuff done before I even get to your office.
Well, no, you don't necessarily have to have it all done. That's part of the beauty of what I do. Because most people don't even know to do this.
Right.
So when you come to me, I can do that for you. I can help you secure a lot of this stuff, if not all of this stuff, so that you can move forward in a very efficient business.
Okay. Okay, well, that's good, because then you make it easy, because right now, if it was me, I'd be freaking out. Like, wait, what? I got to get this, I got to get that, I got to do this contract. Like, seriously, what's the point? Can I just record myself on YouTube singing and just call it a day? No.
Well, you know, you can,
but I wouldn't be protected.
You wouldn't be. You wouldn't be protected. You want to make sure that you do everything legally and that everything is documented, so that because if you have, when you're ready for the opportunity, an opportunity presents itself, you want to make sure that all your ducks are in a row.
Right.
You don't want to have to scramble, because somebody may say, you're too much of a mess, never mind. And some people may spend that money to get you up to where you need, but guess what? They're going to ask for that money back.
Oh, of course.
They're going to say, okay, well, I'm going to recoup this money because these are business expenditures for me.
Right.
You know, another great thing that I also talk to new artists about is making sure that you have a promotional and marketing budget. They underestimate the importance of a promotional and marketing. They think, well, great, social media is amazing. It has done a lot. But outside of that, what else are you doing? People have become have become overnight successes or highly touted as a great artist through social media, which is primarily free. However, you still need to put together a promotional marketing package that will carry you through.
Okay. Well, I learned a lot. And no, I can't sing. That's just the example I gave, because I'm thinking that somebody out there who's watching that may want to know that. But yeah, no. You don't want to hear me sing.
Come on, la 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 la.
Yeah, no, that's not going to work. But we're going to take a break right now, and then when we come back, we're going to have office hours. And that's where there were questions sent in. I don't remember if they're audio or if they were emailed, but we have some entertainment law questions.
Okay.
And then just answer them, or at least try to answer them. Give it your best shot. Okay?
Okay.
We'll be right back.
In an attic, miniature construction worker figurines aim jackhammers into the holes of a leather belt. Standing on scaffolding, painter figurines work on the back of a red high-heeled shoe while others appear to paint the tip. Under a bed, a figurine of a patient lies tucked in the pocket of a white shirt while doctor and nurse figurines stand nearby. Mechanic figurines install a SIM card into a laptop. Nearby, more figurines stand among numerous household items. Your stuff can help fund job training and placement in your community. The Goodwill and Ad Council logos appear. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org.
Welcome back to Under Oath with Michelle Bell. I'm your host, Michelle Bell, and I'm here with Miss Ursula Langford, and we're going over entertainment law. So the next segment is office hours. We're gonna listen actually to questions that were sent in by the audience that's listening to you.
Okay.
You ready to answer them?
I think so.
So I believe we have two. So here's the first one.
Okay.
Hey, my name is Kiki, and I have an entertainment-related question. So, I wrote a song, and my friend said that she would help me sell the song. My friend ended up taking my song and presented it as her own. It was sold and recorded, and it's making money now. My friend basically says, too bad. I can't get any royalties because the song is listed as her song. I don't have any money to hire a lawyer. So is there anything that I can do?
That ain't your friend.
That's not your friend. That
your
is
friend.
not your friend.
Not your friend, Kiki.
Well, first of all, Kiki, congratulations that it's making money.
Right.
But no, that's not your friend. But yes, to answer Kiki's question, there is something that you do that's called fraud. And while it will probably be hard for her to prove it, I think that she still should pursue her intellectual property rights, which is to, sue her, try to work out some type of settlement negotiation. But if last resort is to sue her, and in suing her, it's very important that she have documentation that she did write the song, whether she sang the song and showed it to her mom, or she videoed herself and put it up on Facebook. Those would show things that she was the original owner, whether she wrote the song and dated it. Those would show that she is indeed the true owner of that song. But I definitely would pursue it because she is the rightful owner of that song. Unfortunately, that's why, going back to, as soon as you write something, you should go ahead and copyright it. And then she needs to lose her as a friend.
Okay. We're going to go right into the second question that was sent in. I believe it's also an audio.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Kim, and I have an entertainment question. I'm a film and TV producer, and I've noticed many of the screenplay contracts contain clauses for an errors and omissions in insurance policy. What is that, and why is it important?
That was a really good question. And that means that she's really paying attention to her contracts and reading them and trying to understand them. Errors and omissions is pretty much errors and omissions, or E&O policies, are tantamount or similar to malpractice insurance.
Oh, okay.
So, doctors have malpractice insurance, attorneys, a lot of professionals have malpractice insurance. And so it just protects them from carelessly, if they commit a careless act, such as carelessly infringe upon somebody's copyright, defaming somebody, or something of that nature, then the errors and omissions policy could come into play. Now, it does not cover intentional conduct, but it will cover carelessness and, just not doing your due diligence and what you needed to do. It will cover that. It covers the named insured, and you can add additional named insurers for a nominal fee. And if you're a member of the Writers Guild a writer should be included under their errors and omissions policy.
Oh, okay.
So that's one good thing about being a member. But it basically covers you for any damages as well as your legal fees. So tantamount to malpractice insurance. However, they must be aware that even with errors and omissions, you still may be responsible for the deductible.
Okay.
And that could be like $10,000.
Right.
So
See, that deductible will get you.
that deductible.
It's the same
will
deductible
still
like
have
when you have your car.
Right.
It's a
Still
deductible.
Beanies and weenies. You will
Right.
be eating.
Okay, good. That's all of the questions we have for office hours.
Okay.
So hopefully you got your answers to your questions, those who sent them in, and I thank you for doing that. Now, you did say earlier before that there was the music side and there was also the, is it writing side?
Well, there's the television and production
Television side.
Yes,
Okay, so
television
I'm
side.
all off.
And the television production side is so large. It's like it kind of still mirrors the music industry. So if you're because you could be a writer, you could be a producer, you could be an engineer, you could be a plethora of things. So I'll try to give as much of a general overview that I can, so that people can get the understanding of what things that they should look for when they're starting up their career in television and production. And so if you're a writer, again, going back to copyrighting your material. I'm coming from a production perspective, so I probably can speak better on that.
And that's fine.
Okay.
Because a lot of people probably don't know much about production.
Right. They don't. Most people, writers, actors, everybody
Right.
want to be in front of the screen, but what the people behind it also
Right.
matter. So, from a production standpoint, there's so many things that you look for, that you're going through. You have pre and you have post. Pre and post production. Pre-production is everything that you're doing to get ready for the filming, which is location scouting, releases for extras, contracts with extras, contract with your television producers. Location releases. You can't just, especially if it's a city or municipality, you just can't go onto city property and start filming. You have to get permits. If you want to cut off a street, you have to go to the website for the city that you're trying to do the production in, and you have to go get a permit. And most of them have timetables where you have to comply with submitting your information. So that's pre-production, is getting your cast together, doing cast agreements.
Even extras?
Extras releases, we have extra releases. I release, everybody's going to release themselves when I'm on. So, and I'm trying to think some other things that I come across. I know I'm missing some things, but these are just some of the basics and more popular things that I try to tell people that you're going to have releases for. But if you're doing if you want investors to come in and help you finance, because see, here's the deal with production, the writer or production company like mine, you're on the hook yourself to financially until you get a distribution deal. Okay. So if I want to go ahead and do my sizzle reel trailer or 1 or 2 episodes or a full season episode, it's on me. And normally the initial development is about $5,000, depending on if you know how to jump behind the camera and shoot yourself. That cuts down on a lot of stuff. Right. So how the investors come in place is investors, of course, like but the audience may not know. Right. People can come in and say, I want to give you X amount of dollars to help you produce your work. Right. Now, that's great. But this is a very, very, very slippery slope, to say the least. So you have to make sure that, 1, that you have the appropriate agreements in. Right. 2, you have to make sure that you're in compliance with SEC laws, because those are some very strict laws, and you can find yourself in hot water real quick with no way to get out.
Any government agency that has 3 letters.
IRS.
Be in compliance, because you will have a problem.
You will be. So, if you're thinking of investors, make sure that you get a very skilled attorney to do that. See, when projects require investors, I hire out that, because I don't do that, because honestly, I'm scared I might do something that might send me to jail. I mean, I'm going to do my due diligence, but I'm just not. I don't have to deal with that.
It's understandable.
Yeah. So making sure that you have a very skilled attorney in that area to handle those investment deals, because those things can get very scary and tricky.
No, that's good to know, because I don't think people understand what takes place behind the scenes. Like you watching your favorite show, but you have no idea what's happening behind the scenes, and it's a lot of work, and you need to be protected with that as well, not just the people that are in front of the camera. So you've given great information, things that I would not have thought of or didn't know anything about, because that's just not my area of practice. And I'm sure that there are some people who are watching now, that they may be interested in that, or didn't even know or even think that, I could do production, or, if they're not the type to be in front of a camera. So that was great information.
I wish I had more time to go into the contracts.
I know, right? So
because those contracts telling you what you should look for.
We're gonna have to bring it back.
Bring me back. We're
gonna have to bring it back.
We're just gonna get me a chair here, and I'm just gonna just pop in and go, hey. So
that works. So actually, we're gonna take a break right now. Okay. When we come back, we're gonna do Plead the Fifth. Do you remember Plead the Fifth?
Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna do that, and then go into cheat sheet and everything else. So we'll see you in a bit. Got a quarter? Welcome back to Under Oath with Michelle Bell. I'm your host, Michelle Bell, and I'm here with Miss Ursula Langford. So now we're going to move into my favorite segment, which is Plead the Fifth. For those of you that don't watch the show or haven't watched the show, it's your first one, this is where I ask random questions and the guest either answers the question or they plead the fifth. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever lied about being sick so you could stay home from work or school?
Yes.
Have you ever stalked someone on social media? No. Have you ever lied to get a job?
I could ask that one the last time. What are you trying to check my answer?
I sure am.
I plead the fifth. You should have remembered.
I did. I just want to see if you did. Okay. Have you ever cheated on a test?
I plead the fifth.
Good gracious, really? What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever done on a date?
Oh my goodness. I burped and my now husband boyfriend said it smelled like hot dogs.
Oh. Okay, you did better this time on Plead the Fifth than last time. Good job. So now we're going to go into what we call a cheat sheet, and that's where we have legal terms in layman's terms, pretty much. So what tips do you have for the audience?
Oh, the first tip is to learn the business of your craft. Or find an attorney who's willing to do what I call a teaching attorney. I'm a teaching attorney, so when you come to me, I'm going to teach you as I do the work so that you learn and you grow from it. So 1, learn the business of your craft. 2 is to protect yourself at all times. Copyrights, contracts, releases, everything. Making sure that all your paperwork is in order, even down to your tax documentation. And lastly, hire an attorney. And this is one of the few times where I'll say, I don't think you should not have an attorney. I don't think this is the area of law and there are a lot of areas of law that you should not just go at it alone. There are some areas that I think that you could handle on your own. But this in particular, I do not think so. I believe that hire an attorney.
Okay. Well, that sounds like great advice. Thank you for that, and thank you for coming on the show. I thank you, the audience, for watching and participating. So for more information on the show, you can go to the website, which is www.mbunderoath.com. You can upload your questions for office hours. That would be great. I can see it there. And look forward to seeing you in the next show. Thanks.